Okay, sounds good. Resolution number 22-470, in the matter of adjourning out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 22-470. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
We do have some items for other business. Resolution number 22-471, in the matter of vacating the appointment of a member of the Delaware Morrow Mental Health and Recovery Services Board.
So move.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 22-471. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 22-472, in the matter of reappointing a member and appointing members to the Delaware Morrow Mental Health and Recovery Services Board.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 22-472. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
It is now a little bit past 10 o'clock, so we are able to start our hearing, and that is on page 32. Resolution number 22-473, final hearing for the English number 346 Watershed Drainage Improvement Project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 22-473. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 22-474, in the matter of approving for specific occurrence a suspension of Rule 3, speaker registration, Rule 4, limitations, and Rule 7, public comment procedures from the rules governing public comment before the Board of County Commissioners of Delaware County, Ohio.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 22-474. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Okay. We will now convene the hearing, the June 6th, 2022 hearing for the English number 346 Improvement Project. And did you want to say anything? Okay, I'll go. Okay, thanks, Brett. Welcome to the final hearing for the consideration of the English 346 Drainage Improvement Petition Project. There's a sign-in sheet that is circulating in the room, and we ask everyone who will speak to, we ask everyone to sign in. Copies of the full final hearing report are also available. Here's a review of what will happen today. We will hear a summary of the final hearing report from the county engineer and Soil and Water Conservation District. The county engineer and Soil and Water Conservation District will then cover a presentation on the project. This presentation will include additional maps, current photos, photos of the path of proposed construction, possible drone flight videos, and pictures of similar construction to better illustrate what is being proposed. This presentation will also include a sample amortization of a construction assessment to illustrate what an 8-year payment may look like, an explanation of maintenance assessments, and an illustration of what a percentage collection means. Following the presentation, there will be a time for questions from the Board of Commissioners. After questions, there will be time for testimony from landowners. Those speaking for or against the petition must be either an owner, as defined in section 6131.01 of the Ohio Revised Code, or an attorney speaking on behalf of an owner. First, we will hear from those who are in favor of the petition project. We will hear then from all those opposed to the petition project. During testimony, you will be asked to take an oath. Testimony will continue back and forth if new information comes up or if additional people wish to speak. The board then would close the hearing after this is over. After listening to testimony and the report of the engineer, the board will decide whether to find in favor of the improvement, affirming the order, confirming the maintenance assessments, and then approve the payment schedule. Or the board may dismiss the petition by setting aside the order. The board considers the following in their decision: whether the board hereby finds that the proposed improvement is necessary, that it will be conducive to the public welfare, or the board also finds that it is reasonably certain that the cost of the proposed improvement will be less than the benefit. If you would take it from here, Brett, thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brett Bacon, Delaware Soil and Water Conservation District. I will run through our brief presentation on the project and then be happy to answer any questions the board may have. The English number 346 Drainage Improvement Project has been requested per ORC 6131. The petition specifically requests in Delaware County, Brown and Berlin Townships within the English number 346 watershed and generally following but not limited to the course and termini of the existing improvement. Further asks to generally improve the drainage, both surface and subsurface, to a good and sufficient outlet by replacing, repairing, or altering the existing improvements as required and or creating new surface and subsurface drainage mains or laterals as requested by this petition. This petition was filed on May 16, 2018 by Christopher A. and Nikki L. Acker and others. That original petition was amended on August 23, 2018 by Ross Carlson, and this petition, or the amendment, was accepted by the Commissioners. On August 13, 2018, the view was held. November 1st, 2018, the first hearing was held. At that time, the board approved the petition and ordered the county engineer and soil and water district to proceed with the preparation of plans and schedules of assessments. The watershed for the English number 346 drainage is approximately 439 acres. You can see on this map the parcels shaded in blue were the parcels that signed or amended the petition. It is 46% agricultural, 3% rural residential, 1% woods, 50% commercial, industrial, and road right-of-way. The original petition was signed by representatives of 12 of the 43 parcels in the watershed. Project's been divided into several sections for clarity and decision-making. The main is the open channel. You can see there shaded in black and yellow. It will be 2 to 4 feet deep. There'll be clearing and snagging of brush and debris, rock line channel. Lateral A west is subsurface drain tile installation, a grade stabilization structure, fence gate installations. Lateral A east is surface drain, shaping and grading, subsurface drain tile installation, and tile breather installations. And a decent portion of this stretch would have tile that we would propose to accept onto maintenance without replacement. Lateral B on the south side of State Route 3637, subsurface drain tile installation, tile breather installations, and clearing and snagging of brush and debris. We have a drone video that covers all parts of the project here, so I'll kind of narrate as we go. This first section is starting at the bottom end of the open channel, flying upstream. And you can see the open channel is within that line of brush and trees there that you see just to the left of that house as it goes up. We would be proposing one-sided construction on this channel, working from the left as we're looking at it right now. And now we're turning to follow lateral A. This first part would be lateral A west. Primarily tile replacement in this section. And you can see the light streak in the field there. That is the current location of the subsurface drain. There's a break in the project at this property This is a church development, has already installed infrastructures, which is already on the drainage maintenance program, so we would be connecting their infrastructure on the downstream side and connecting into their infrastructure on the upstream side. So coming off this property, this is what we've denoted as lateral A East. Again, this section has a large portion of tile be proposed to go on maintenance as is and reshape surface drain. Then we would propose to install a breather on the upstream or top side, as we're looking at it, of the railroad tracks there to make sure that we always have good flow through the railroad right of way. And now we're just going to take a joy flight across the highway to get to our other section. So now we're flying the opposite direction on lateral B. This is going upstream to downstream, primarily subsurface drain installation along the rear lot line of these properties, coming down and just kind of following what you see as the grassed area there. And this project then would go down and connect, or portion of the project, would connect into a catch basin that would be right at the ODOT right-of-way. Some representative pictures, not exactly what this project would look like, but just a good sample. This is an open channel, a sample of a rock line channel. This is some reseeding work following subsurface drain installation, a typical tile breather, surface drain swale grassed, crossbow mowable, and a grade stabilization structure or a rock chute. Project cost estimate, main total $27,075.45. Lateral A West, $39,398.88. Lateral A East, $18,732.20. And lateral B, $40,087.92 for a total project estimate of $125,294.45. The revised code instructs the county engineer to calculate assessments to individual properties based on the benefits received. And the code specifically states lands that have been removed from their natural state by deforestation, cultivation, artificial drainage, urban development, or other man-made causes shall be considered as benefited by an improvement required to dispose of the accelerated flow of water from the uplands. To calculate the assessments, we take the acres benefited times the land use factor times the percent used to get a parcel assessment factor. A parcel's percent share is the parcel assessment factor divided by the sum of the assessment factors for all parcels. And the parcel assessment equals that percent share times the total estimated cost. The revised code gives a couple options to pay an assessment. Landowners can pay that assessment in full upfront within 30 days of the final hearing, or they can have the assessment placed on the property tax bill as a special assessment. Having the assessment placed on property taxes will include interest and other fees if the project is bonded, and auditor treasurer's fees for collection. For an example, we're assuming no upfront payments and all sections of the project are approved. The total estimated construction cost minus direct assessments is $125,294.45. The average or mean assessment, not including right-of-way parcels, is $2,667 or a 2.1% share of the project. Debt issuing fees, as an example, would be $8,000, and bond interest, figured at 4% estimated, would be $5,331.78, giving us a total estimated cost for construction of $138,626.23. 2.1% of this amount is $2,911.15. 2% of that for auditor treasurer's fees is $58.22 for a total assessment for our average parcel of $2,969.37. This amount spread over 8 years or 16 semi-annual payments gives us an semi-annual amount of $185.59, and you can see that spread out from 2024 to 2031. Bidding and construction. Approved projects are advertised for public bid. The contract is awarded to the lowest and best bid, and these projects are typically not subject to prevailing wage. Bids may not be accepted in excess of the final hearing engineer's estimate, and the final schedule of assessments is reduced pro rata by the difference between the estimated cost and the final cost if that final cost comes in less. Upfront payments in this case would receive a refund. Drainage maintenance. ORC 6137 requires completed projects to be placed on the drainage maintenance program in perpetuity. The purpose of maintenance is to keep the project operating at its original designed capacity. Maintenance funds are collected as a special assessment, much the same as construction assessments, and common maintenance activities include inspections, seeding and repairs, and erosion control. Maintenance assessments are determined based on the final schedule of construction assessments. Most projects average between 2.5% to 5% annually on that maintenance collection, and that collection percentage can vary depending on the maintenance needs of the project. And as I stated, drainage maintenance is perpetual. Looking at our amortization example, if we take our construction assessment of $3,340.22 times a 3% maintenance collection, plus the auditor treasurer's fees, that will equal $102.21 annual maintenance assessment. And it looks like we have a spreadsheet error here. So that $102.21 should be split in half, obviously, for our semi-annual payments. So for the first 8 years, we'd have our $185.59 construction assessment plus a $56 roughly, $51 roughly maintenance assessment for the first 8 years, and then following that, just the maintenance assessment. Apologize for that. Cost benefit. Benefits of drainage improvements exist for both agricultural and residential parcels. The benefit to agricultural parcels is realized by the increased yield as a result of good drainage. Estimated yield increases given the soils in the area would average 46 bushels per acre for corn and 14 bushels per acre for soybeans given the appropriate drainage improvements are in place. The USDA average crop price from 2016 to 2020 for corn is $3.73 per bushel, and for soybeans, $9.30 per bushel. 26 acres of the land in the watershed is currently agricultural. At $46 bushels per acre increase times 373 times, I'm sorry, I think I had somebody else do this and I apparently did not fact check this good enough. Jen, can I see a copy of the report, please?
The original drainage report? Yes.
Yes. I apologize, commissioners. This off the report instead of my presentation. So there are 200 acres currently in agricultural production in the watershed.
So the 26 is
The
incorrect.
26 is incorrect. I apologize for that.
Your math is
So my
correct.
math is correct. 46 bushels per acre increase times $3.73 times the 200 acres produces $34,316. For soybeans, 14 bushels per acre increase times $9.30 times the 200 acres is $26,040. Our average annual benefit is $30,718. Benefits to residential parcels focus on quality of life, neighborhood perception, and home site sewage treatment systems. A failed home site sewage treatment system can cost $15,000 to $25,000 to repair or replace. New developments average between $1,000 to $3,000 per lot spent on providing adequate drainage outlets. With 8 residential parcels in the watershed, this equals $8,000 to $24,000 benefit at minimum. Project sections. The main and lateral B can each be completed independent of each other. Lateral A West requires the main to be approved. Lateral A East requires main and lateral A West to be approved. Lateral A East also includes accepting existing subsurface drain onto drainage maintenance in its existing condition. Here's another look at the decisions the commissioners have in front of them. You can approve all, approve main and lateral A, approve main and partial A, main, partial A, partial B, main and lateral B, main only, lateral B only, or deny all. Approval will require resetting repayment period and whether to bond, confirming the schedule of assessments, and ordering the project be advertised for competitive bid. If the decision is to deny, it is recommended to distribute costs incurred to this point to the landowners in the same ratio as determined by the final schedule of assessments. Estimated cost to date is $5,500. Engineer's recommendation. Based on all of the information gathered and generated, I believe this project, as proposed, is technically feasible and would serve as an adequate outlet for the drainage needs of the watershed. Furthermore, the parcel assessments for this project are within the range of assessments that can be expected for a project of this scope. The testimony brought to the Board of Commissioners by the landowners as to whether the benefits of this project exceed the cost should be given significant consideration in the decision to move forward with this project.
Thank you, Brett. Any questions from the commissioners?
I have none. I thought it was extremely thorough and with all the different options, it was very well explained. So thank you.
Thank you. I apologize for
Yes.
those errors. We'll make sure that
Oh.
doesn't happen at the next one.
No, it was very well explained.
The
Yeah.
table was very helpful because
Yeah,
it's
the
confusing.
table was very helpful.
We'll keep that in there then.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, no questions, okay. Let me get my sheet here. Okay, moving ahead then, I would call for anyone speaking for the petition to come before us, if you wish to speak, and I will swear you in before you speak. Is there anyone in favor of speaking for the petition?
You probably know who I am anyway. Chris Acker, the original petitioner.
Okay. And if you will raise your right hand, sir, do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
So help me God, I do.
Thank you. If you could give us your address and then the parcel number?
Well, I don't know the parcel number, but it's all of lateral A West.
Okay, lateral A West. Okay,
Or, I'm sorry, East.
okay,
It's lateral A East.
okay.
21 and 39, looks like.
It's the one that goes from the main over to the pond at the church. So I guess that is west after all.
West?
Yeah.
Okay. What?
So you have a number of parcels.
I
Yeah,
believe he's
yeah.
number 16.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, we're,
16.
what's that?
16.
16, okay,
26.
lateral A West and 16 and 26.
Yep.
16 and 26? Okay.
I originally filed the application because the main, if you've ever been out there, basically doesn't exist anymore. It's overgrown with trees. The head walls have all caved in. I don't know how they get any water through there at all. That's why I initially filed the petition, because the water was backing up onto our property and it couldn't get out. So that's why I filed the petition. I support the petition, And I was in hopes that other people who this is going to help would also support the petition. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Okay, are there any questions for Mr. Aker? No? Okay, thank you, sir. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of the petition? And if you will raise your right hand, ma'am, I will swear you in. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
You may proceed. Yeah, I know she didn't.
You have a copy of Mrs. Nutter's testimony written in front of you.
Good morning, Commissioners Benton, Lewis, Merrill, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Is it possible to take your mask off?
I have some health conditions, so I'm reluctant to do that. Is that better?
You have
Okay.
a copy of her testimony in front of you.
That's true. I have it. We have a copy. You sent us a letter.
Yes.
Right.
Is this
Yes.
better if I stand closer to the microphone?
Yes. Yes.
Is this okay? Can you hear me now?
You're fine.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
go ahead.
So thank you for the opportunity to testify today. My name is S. Diane Nutter. I'm the general manager of Nutter Farm Incorporated. The street address is 1555 State Route 37 East here in Delaware. The English 346 ditch and its stream flow through Nutter Farm behind the farmhouse at this address. And Chris helped me out. We're at the far west end of the main, and it's parcel 11 on both sides of the highway, the north and the south side of the highway. Did I say that correctly, Chris? Okay, thank you. I would also like to thank our neighbors, Christopher and Nikki Acker, for filing this petition, and many others, neighbors who support the petition, Delaware Soil and Water, and the county engineer for all your work on this project. As we learned from the report today and Brett's testimony and Chris's, good drainage is very important for all property uses and to maintain the property values of all the land in this watershed. The final hearing report says that about 46% of the land is agricultural. The land owned by Nutter Farm was purchased by my grandparents for farming. The soil is heavy clay soil, and it must be well drained in order to grow crops. When it's not well drained and there's a lot of rain, we have standing water in our fields, and that makes farming difficult and more expensive because of lost crops and lower yields. Throughout the many decades that my grandfather farmed this land, periodically he would get together with the other farmers in the area, and they would all agree on who would clean and grade the ditches that drain this land and how much each person would pay to the farmer doing the work. That was always a gentleman's agreement in the past. Today, there are 43 tax parcels in this watershed, and it's no longer feasible for all of these landowners to get together and agree on what work needs to be done, who will do it, and how much each landowner will pay. And I'll use the Kroger Distribution Center as an example to illustrate some of the drainage problems in this watershed today and the importance of this project. Before Kroger was built, most of the rain that fell on that land soaked into the earth. Today, Kroger's many acres of paved roads, paved parking lots, and rooftops prevent a lot of the rainwater from soaking into the earth, and therefore, more of the rainwater now runs off of the Kroger site. Before Kroger was built, that land drained in 3 directions. Now the entire Kroger site drains in only one direction, to the north under State Route 36 US 36 State Route 37, and into the English 346 ditch and stream. So this puts a whole lot of extra water into the English 346, far more than it ever handled before. Due to the building of Kroger and other development, the English 346 is now carrying much more water. When we have heavy rain in a short period of time, the part of the ditch and stream that runs through Nutter Farm sometimes floods. When this happens, the flood waters wash out our gravel driveway that lead back to our barns, and therefore we have to rebuild the driveway, sometimes replace the culvert that the ditch and streams flow through as it transports the water under our driveway before we can get back to the barns again. This happened most recently during heavy rain on or about May 19, 2020. And when we must rebuild our driveway and culvert due to the flooding of this ditch, it's both disruptive and expensive. Obviously, Kroger and other businesses nearby meet important business and community development needs. We all know that economic and community development create new opportunities as well as new challenges and new needs. Future development will continue to affect the drainage in this watershed. Drainage needs will become more complex as more owners buy land in the watershed, more development occurs, more roads and buildings are built, and more runoff occurs from rain that can no longer soak into the earth like it did in the past. If we ignore these increasingly important and complex drainage needs, they will only get worse. If this project is not approved and this work is not done, the drainage in this watershed will deteriorate to the detriment of all landowners. As we learned from the final hearing report, homes and businesses could be damaged, farmers and other businesses might or will lose money, and all landowners' property values will decrease over time. I don't think any of us want those things to happen, and the community cannot afford to let that happen either. Good drainage of the English 346 and its watershed is an important community need. It improves farmers' crop yields and can prevent water problems at homes and businesses. Today, we no longer have a handful of farmers who can enter into a gentleman's agreement to do this work and pay for it. Today, the only feasible way is to have this improvement drainage done through the public service of the county engineer and Delaware Soil and Water. They're the experts at doing this. They have the knowledge and expertise to know what needs to be done and to do it well. If the county commissioners approve this watershed drainage improvement project, it will ensure that the drainage in this watershed will be well maintained both now and for many years to come. This will maintain the property values of all landowners in the watershed. No, this is not free, but it is very good value for the cost, which the county will allocate to the affected landowners according to the benefits received. For all of these reasons, Nutter Farm fully supports the watershed drainage improvement project without reservation and encourages the county commissioners to approve this project. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today and your consideration of this important community need.
Thank you. Are there any questions of Ms. Nutter?
Have any?
No questions, very
No,
thorough.
no questions, yeah.
Thank
They're
you.
very well presented, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of the petition? If you could please come forward. Anyone else who would like to speak in favor of the petition? Is there anyone who would like to speak against the petition? If you could come forward. Anyone who would like to speak against the petition? I don't see anyone. Are there any further questions from the board?
I had a question for Brad, maybe kind of a general question. This is one of the more complex situations we run across with all the different variables that play into this. So I guess it's your opinion that you recommend all the laterals be approved as well as obviously the main then? And you think it'll accomplish the mission, I guess maybe a better way to say it.
Yeah, we don't recommend approval or denial to you. We recommend that you weigh the testimony of the landowners. Certainly, we feel we've presented a project that meets the request of the petitioners, both original signers and the amendment request.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
I think the testimony today was very comprehensive and very well done, and I would move that we close the hearing.
I'll second it.
You could read the resolution.
Vote on, or resolution number 22-475, closing the public hearing to address the English number 346 watershed drainage improvement project, was motioned by Commissioner Merrill and seconded by Commissioner Benton. Vote on motion 22-475, Mr. Benton.
Aye.
Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
And then I would ask, I think the testimony today supports supporting the improvements, and I would ask that we read the resolution in favor.
Resolution number 22-476, in the matter of finding in favor of the improvement and affirming the order for the main part of the English number 346 watershed drainage improvement project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote. Any other
Well, I'd
discussion?
just
go
like to
ahead.
say that
Yeah, sure.
believe the testimony supports the criteria under which we make it a judgment and evaluation, and that is whether the board finds that the proposed improvements are necessary. In fact, I remember going out for the viewing 4 years ago, it's been a while, and that it will be conducive to the public welfare, and the board also finds it's reasonably certain that the cost of the proposed improvements will be less than the benefits, and I think on all those criteria, it's easy to find support of this project.
Any other comments?
Yeah, I would agree.
I also agree.
Yeah.
Vote, please.
Vote on motion 22-476. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 22-477, in the matter of Commissioners confirming the assessments and approving the payment schedule and ordering the letting of contracts for the main part of the English 346 watershed drainage improvement petition project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 22-477. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 22-478, in the matter of finding in favor of the improvement and affirming the order for the lateral A west part of the English 346 watershed drainage improvement project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 22-478. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 22-479, in the matter of the Commissioners confirming the assessment, approving the payment schedule, and ordering the letting of contracts for the lateral A west part of the English 346 watershed drainage improvement project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 22-479. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 22-480, in the matter of finding in favor of the improvement and affirming the order for the lateral A east part of the English 346 watershed drainage improvement.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 22-480. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 22-481, in the matter of Commissioners confirming the assessment, approving the payment schedule, and ordering the letting of contracts for the lateral A east part of the English 346 watershed drainage improvement project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 22-481. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 22-482, in the matter of finding in favor of the improvement and affirming the order of the lateral B part of the English 346 watershed drainage improvement project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 22-482. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Resolution number 22-482, or 483, sorry, in the matter of the Commissioners confirming the assessment, approving the payment schedule, and ordering the letting of contracts for the lateral B part of the English number 346 watershed drainage improvement project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 22-483. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
I think we're finished.
All right. I would like to congratulate our clerk on bringing us through, taking us through. And we have nothing else then.
Okay,
Okay. And we've already adjourned the
executive.
meeting part, so we will adjourn our meeting.